Prime Minister Narendra Modi's apology in Maharashtra to no namaz break in Assam Assembly, and what did External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar say about India's stand on Pakistan? We will get you all the big stories of the day in this news wrap. Hi, I'm Charulata Biswas and you're watching the Indian Express. Let's get you started with the big stories of the day. The big story. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee on Friday wrote another letter to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and this is the second time that she has written to him, urging him to introduce a stringent central law to ensure a 15-day trial and exemplary punishment in rape cases. Here's our report. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee on Friday wrote a letter to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, again urging him to bring in a stringent central law paving the way for a 15-day trial and exemplary punishment in rape cases. Saying that she has not received a reply from him despite this being such a sensitive issue, Mamata Banerjee reiterated the need for stringent legislations to deal with heinous crimes like rape and murder. Banerjee's letter read, quote unquote, "I would also refer to some of the initiatives in the area that our state has already taken, which appears to have been overlooked in the reply." She pointed out that numerous steps West Bengal has taken, particularly in judicial reforms and support systems. In the letter, Banerjee highlighted the state's progress regarding fast-track special courts, stating regarding fast-track special courts, 10 exclusive POCSO courts have been approved by the state government. In addition to this, 88 FTSCs and 62 POCSO designated courts are functioning throughout the state. And this is on complete state funding. Monitoring and disposal of cases are completely in the hands of the courts. Addressing a key concern, Banerjee noted a discrepancy between state and central guidelines, adding, quote unquote, "As per central government guidelines, only retired judicial officers can be posted as presiding officers in FTSCs, but the Honorable High Court has observed that in view of the severity of the cases, permanent judicial officers need to be posted. This requires examination at the level of Government of India and suitable action thereafter, for which your intervention would be necessary." Furthermore, the Chief Minister underscored the state's proactive approach in enhancing emergency response services, mentioning, quote unquote, "Moreover, helpline numbers 112 and 1098 are satisfactorily working in the state. In addition, dial 100 is also extensively used in emergency situations." 4 days after Chhatrapati Shivaji statue collapsed at Rajkot Fort in Maharashtra's Sindhudurg district, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday apologized for it. He said that the Maratha emperor was not just a king for him and his colleagues, he was addressing a public gathering in Palghar. Listen in.
तो लोग छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज को अपने आराध्य देव मानते हैं, उनके दिल को जो गहरी चोट पहुंची है, मैं ऐसे आराध्य देव की पूजा करने वालों को भी, उनकी भी सर झुका करके क्षमा मांगता हूं। मेरे संस्कार अलग है।
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar reiterated India's stand on relationship with Pakistan. He said that the era of uninterrupted dialogue with Pakistan is over. He was speaking at the launch of a book by Ambassador Rajiv Sikri, Strategic Conundrums Reshaping India's Foreign Policy, in Delhi on Friday.
If we start with the neighbors, and Rajiv has started with Pakistan. So let me say this. I think the era of uninterrupted dialogue with Pakistan is over. Actions have consequences. And insofar as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, I think 370 is done. So the issue today is what kind of relationship can we possibly contemplate with Pakistan. Rajiv suggests that perhaps India is content to continue at the current level of relationship. Maybe yes, maybe no. What I do want to say is we are not passive, and whether events take a positive or a negative direction, either way we will react.
And in down south in Andhra Pradesh, a spy camera was found in the washroom of a women's hostel of an engineering college in Krishna district. Now, this triggered massive protests. Police are investigating the incident now. Here's our report. Visuals of hundreds of female students staging a night-long dharna at Gudla Valeru College of Engineering at Gudivada are viral. This happened after an alert from one of the students that a hidden camera was placed in a washroom of the girls' hostel. Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu has ordered a probe, but what exactly happened? A spy camera allegedly found in the washroom of a women's hostel at the Seshari Rao Gudla Valeru College of Engineering in Andhra Pradesh's Krishna has sparked protests, prompting a police investigation. Krishna District SP Gangadhar Rao refused to confirm the existence of the spy camera at the Gudla Valeru College, but he said that the case was registered and investigations were ongoing. Quote unquote, whether there was any camera hidden in the washroom of the women's hostel will be determined after the investigation is over. Night-long protests erupted among women students of the engineering college over the spy camera allegedly found in one of the washrooms. Protesters have alleged that footage from the camera has been circulated on social media groups, although this is yet to be confirmed. According to police sources, a final year male student is being questioned. They also said that a team of investigators were at the men's hostels of the college to search through laptops and mobile phones for any footage from the camera. And in the northeast, the Assam Assembly will do away with the 2-hour break provided on Fridays to facilitate Muslim legislators to offer namaz.
देखिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ, कृपया सुन लीजिए फिर। हाँ, 1937 में असम में मुस्लिम लीग का शासन था। वो समय हमारे स्टेट का मुख्यमंत्री था सर सैयद सादुल्ला। उन्होंने ये नियम बनाया था कि हर शुक्रवार असेंबली को 2 घंटे के लिए जुम्मा नमाज के लिए छुट्टी दिया जाएगा। आज हमारे विधायक लोगों ने निर्णय किया कि हम विधानसभा में आता हूं काम करने के लिए, हमको प्रोडक्टिविटी चाहिए, तो इसीलिए हमें शुक्रवार का दिन भी हम लोग विधानसभा करेगा, नॉन स्टॉप हम लोग विधानसभा करेगा। 2 घंटा का हमें छुट्टी नहीं चाहिए। जिसको नमाज पढ़ना है जरूर हो अपना नमाज अदा करेगा, उसमें कोई आपत्ति नहीं है। लेकिन जो 2 घंटा वाला छुट्टी थे वो अभी से आगे नहीं होगा।
This is what Himanta Biswa Sarma said. Muslim MLAs criticized this decision and asserted that they would continue to take the namaz break. Listen to what AIUDF MLA Rafiqul Islam said on this decision.
सेशन से जो है फ्राइडे में थोड़ा 2 घंटे के लिए वक्फा होता था। फ्राइडे 9 o'clock से असेंबली शुरू होता था सेशन, और 11:30 12 o'clock अर्जन हो जाता था, फिर 2 बजे से दोबारा शुरू होता था। ये फ्राइडे का दोनों टाइम सुबह शाम इस तरह के ये हुआ करता था। लेकिन उसको रूल्स कमेटी ने इसको तब्दील करके अगले सेशन से इसको उठा दिया उन्होंने। हमारा एमएलए आमिनुल इस्लाम रूल्स कमेटी में उन्होंने सुझाव दिया था कि एक भाईचारगी की बात है, ये आपस में मोहब्बत की बात, मोहब्बत बढ़ती है इससे। एक धर्म के लोग दूसरे धर्म के लोगों को उपासना वर्शिप में अगर रेस्पेक्ट करेंगे तो इसमें प्यार और मोहब्बत बढ़ती है, इसको रहने दीजिए। उन्होंने मुखालफत की है लेकिन नहीं माना। रूल्स कमेटी में स्पीकर के नेतृत्व में उनकी अक्सरियत है, उन लोगों ने जबरदस्ती इसको कर लिया। करने दीजिए, जुमा की नमाज हम तो पढ़ेंगे। अब मसला यह है कि जो असम विधानसभा में 126 में 30 मुसलमान एमएलए आज के दिन भी हैं, और आज 30 नहीं, बिफोर इंडिपेंडेंस आसाम की विधानसभा में 36 मुसलमान एमएलए हुआ करते थे। स्वाधीनता से पहले आसाम असेंबली में 30, 35, 36 तक एमएलए हुआ करते थे। अभी तो घट के कम हो गया, हम लोग अभी भी 30 एमएलए है, तो 30 एमएलए हम लोग जुमा के लिए जाएंगे।
Now from politics to some good news from Paralympics in Paris, Avni Lekhara created history as she clinched a historic gold medal at the women's 10 meters air rifle standing SH1 in the Paris Paralympics.
In good news from Paris, Indian shooter Avni Lekhara has made headlines by winning gold for India in women's 10-meter air rifle final. Lekhara not only defended her gold medal from the Tokyo Paralympics but also set a new record. On Friday, she surpassed her own Paralympic record of 2:49.6, achieved 3 years ago with a remarkable score of 2:49.7. This impressive performance has reaffirmed her status as a top competitor on the global stage. Lekhara, who made history in Tokyo as India's first female Paralympic gold medalist, will also be competing in 2 other events apart from women's 10-meter air rifle standing SH1. She will also be competing in mixed 10-meter air rifle prone and women's 50-meter rifle 3 position SH1. Her primary focus was on defending her gold medal in the women's 10-meter air rifle standing SH1 event that she has successfully achieved. At Tokyo Paralympics, the then 19-year-old shooter had made history not only by becoming the first female Paralympic champion from India, but also by being the second Indian to win multiple medals at the same Paralympics. She clinched gold in the women's 10-meter air rifle SH1 and a bronze in the 50-meter rifle 3 positions SH1. In Paris, Lekhara is set to continue her competitive journey following a successful recovery from gallbladder surgery 5 months ago. Meanwhile, another Indian shooter, Mona Agarwal, has secured a bronze medal in this same event, marking the beginning of India's medal tally at the Paris Paralympics. For those unfamiliar with Lekhara's inspiring journey, her story is one of resilience. At just 11 years old, she was involved in a car accident on the Jaipur-Dholpur highway that resulted in spinal cord injuries and left her paralyzed from the waist down. Despite this, she has risen to become a symbol of strength and determination in the world of parachuting.
That's all for the day. However, leaving you with visuals from Chennai, where the MD of the Chennai-based TVS Motors, Shri Venu Sudarshan, donated 16 bikes to Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams, which is an independent government trust in India and manages various temples, including the Tirumala Venkateshwara temple.
Shri Venkateshwara